Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. Just doing a quick update on Ethereum here. First of all, on the daily, just for the larger counts, have an ABC for an A wave up, looking for a B wave bottom, at which point we'll be able to get the extension levels for our most probable C wave target. Currently unavailable until this bottom pivot is in, but somewhere in the area of breakdown here between the 618 and the 786 on log scale. Zooming into this area here, currently have a WXY correction in the works. Let me go down to the 4 hour here just to show you a little closer. Now our A wave targets, our B wave targets here in our A wave pattern I showed you as my most likely scenario is between 1237 and 1374 on log scale. That's between the 50 and the 618 of that A wave up, and between 1362 and 1511, you can see in red there, as our pivot area. Most common targets for our B wave. Well, off the top we had a zigzag for a W wave, we had an X wave up, so 3-wave pattern. And now looking for either a B, C, a 335, or a combination of zigzags as a Y wave. There's a WXY in the Y wave. For our A wave, we had a zigzag ABC, and then either another zigzag or a flat pattern here. Hard to differentiate at the moment. Haven't quite hit the 1-to-1 of the WX for our Y here at 1513, so still probabilities to the downside. Now my primary count is either this is a WXY for our B wave in, and we're going to get a ending diagonal here, in which case we'd expect at least to the 50 to 618 of this downside, so a little higher. Then we come down in an ending diagonal. That's one option to come to targets. Or we come up in 5 waves here, which Bitcoin seems to be making this move, so I would lean this as my probabilities. And the B wave gets moved over to here. This first A wave, there's our targets between the 50 and the 618. If we get an expanded flat, which is a 335, we expect to get rejection between the 50 and the 618, or even slightly lower, and at which point we would have to redo these fibs from the top of this wave. These targets would have to be readjusted. That's currently my primary count looking for this wave. We hit the 1.05 as our expanded B area, and all that is we extend out from, oh sorry, that's time fib. All that is we extend off our first A wave and back to it, and we have our extensions of the 1.05, 1.236, and 1.382. You can see those in orange, so we ticked that. This has to be recounted as most likely a double zigzag or a flat and a zigzag complex B. And all that would make it, I'll put it in blue, is A, B, C. I'll put this in blue so we know what path we're looking for. So looking for 5 waves up here, and for this B wave to get extended over as a expanded flat or as a flat pattern. Let's get to our current targets here. We're looking for the 1-to-1, the 1.236, or the 1.382 for our C wave. And we'll make that in blue as well, so everything lines up as it should. And we'll make our fib levels from the last wave as dotted so we know the difference here. So we're either going to get an expanded flat, looking for 5 waves either way to the upside, or a running flat where we hit the 1-to-1 and we would channel in this area and then pivot to the downside from the 1-to-1 level extension, like so. So where does that put us now? The big difference between ETH and Bitcoin is Bitcoin, I'm already in the long, if you want to look at the video, but we've already broken this last level. Bitcoin came up here and we're correcting here already. We haven't broken that level in Ethereum, so I'm going to be a little more hesitant to enter at the moment. It does appear like we have 5 waves up, and we do seem to be channeling. But at the moment, I am sidelined on ETH. I'm going to wait for a little more clarity. To decide to enter or not myself at the moment. And the reason for that is this B wave can come down further. You can see we can come down to 1475 before we get going. I'd like to see a break of this level first, which means I might miss the long altogether, but that's okay because I'd expect to get the short to the downside. Perfectly fine. I'm long on Bitcoin if you want to check that video. It just looks more probable at the moment. I want to break structure before I enter the trade, just to get probabilities on my side where resistance becomes support. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for 5 waves up and then short afterwards, but currently sidelined on a trade. Thanks for watching.